Now this, on the other hand, is a conventional dolly shot with a 30mm lens. So it's very smooth. This is all on sticks, so you don't have that feel anymore. All of a sudden, we're back into kind of traditional filmmaking. We're anchored again, okay? We're anchored again in the standard techniques.
Now, what about the creation of the shape? Because it's the blankest of anti-heroes in many ways. And of course, the mask is somebody famous, right?
The mask is a William Shatner Star Trek mask, which doesn't look anything like William Shatner. But it's spray painted white. It's almost like the comedy tragedy mask you see in drama. It's just blank. You read into it evil, as opposed to there being anything there. It's not a snarling killer. It's not a personality. It's a thing. It's a force of nature.
You can't kill the boogeyman.
How did you direct the movement of the shape? I mean, did you say walk in a certain way, behave in a certain way, or did you just say, hey, walk into shot?
We talked early on about what he should do, and I said it's simple. Just be as simple as possible. Walk as, don't lumber, just walk.
Now, this is one of the most famous scenes in the film. Again, there's two teenagers have just made love. One of them's waiting upstairs in the bed. The other one has gone downstairs to get a beer and is now attacked by Michael. It gives you the impression that something really threatening and violent is going on, but it's all done in cutaways.
He's lifting him up the wall by his neck, and now he's going to skewer him into the wall, off screen. We all know what that knife's going to do. We don't need to see it. We don't need to see it, a lot of gore. In this case, the violence need not be graphic. It can be implied. In other cases, like The Thing, for instance, I felt that you can't just imply hit the creature. You have to bring it out and show it. Make the audience believe that they're seeing this transforming, horrible thing. But in Halloween, it wasn't necessary. You're going to see the shape move his head back and forth like he's looking at him. He's examining him. There we go. Back and forth. He's looking at him like an object, not a human being. He's almost curious. What are you?
Now we come back to the bedroom where she has had sex with her boyfriend and she thinks this is her boyfriend.
Well, did you get my beer?
Tell me about the line between humor and horror in this.
Well, this is right on the edge. It's pretty silly when you think about it.
Cute, Bob, real cute.
Here's this guy with a sheet with glasses on, but we know it's the killer. But it's the way PJ plays the scene that makes it work, because she's absolutely convinced that's her boyfriend. And we know that it's not, so what we want to have happen is for her to run away and save herself, but of course she doesn't.
See anything you like?
Instead, she shows us her breasts, which is always wonderful. So again, he's not acting, the shape is not acting like a monster. He's not acting like a human being. He's not just watching, which is in itself slightly more creepy to me than if he came charging across the room. It's so silly. It's funny. It's ridiculous. But at the same time, we know, the audience knows, that behind that sheet is this machine killer. Halloween was a turning point in my career because I got recognized as a director by the industry. I began to be hired, got jobs, got a lot of jobs from it.
Did it concern you at all that it kind of branded John Carpenter as a horror director?
That came a little bit later. Around the time of The Thing, because The Thing was a big failure in the United States when it came out, I realized then that, not only am I typecast, but I'm hated. So as part of my repentance, I must pay my dues. I did Starman, which is a little love story, just to say, I'm not that bad, guys. I can do a love story.
One of the reasons Halloween works as well as it does is there is no explanation. It's just the child is a killer, and the next thing you know, he's out and Loomis is after him. Do you think it'd be possible to make a film with that little backstory and exposition nowadays? Because as I was saying before about it having a punky edge, maybe that's what the edge is.
I've always been attracted to just what you're saying. The less obvious movie motivation, more of, you have to supply. What's going on here? That's always been scarier, more interesting to me. But movies nowadays, especially screenplays that you write, you have to spell out everything for the audience, especially in character development. I always love characters that don't have any backstory. None.
When he looks out of the window and he's not there, it's tempting now to see that as a setup for a sequel. But my reading of it had always been, that's the end. The end of the movie is, he's not there.
Correct. No sequel in mind. I love Twilight Zone endings, if you want to call them O. Henry endings. Frankly, I remember a movie, cheesy science fiction film back in the 50s called The Blob. They can't kill the blob, so they freeze it, and they drop it in the Arctic, and then this big question mark comes out of the screen. I thought, wow, gee, that's weird. I kind of like that.
There is also a confusion in Halloween 2, in which there's a relationship developed between Michael and Jamie Lee Curtis's character, which apparently justifies why he's after her. But the point is, there isn't any reason why he's after her.
Well, you know, that was the sequel. I didn't want to direct it. I got forced into writing it. And look, it was 2 o'clock in the morning. I had a 6-pack of beer. It was the only idea I could think of.
You regret it?
It doesn't hurt. You know what? None of the sequels have hurt the original.
This is the final showdown with Loomis turning up. Talk me through what happens during this scene.
People project much more into this face than is actually there. They think it's really terrible looking. It isn't. It's just a
So he has a distorted left eye slightly?
Well, I think he got stabbed. I think it's makeup. But I heard a lot of screams during that sequence. Now he gets shot. We have our one and only stunt. And during the making of this, Donald comes up and looks down, and he said, I can play this 2 ways. When I see that this body is not here, Donald says, I can play it, oh my God, he's gone, or I can play it, I knew this would happen. So I said, let's do it both ways, and see if you can guess which version I left in. Because one of them really worked, and the other didn't. We go back to Donald's reaction, and it is,
I know he's gone because that's what I thought he was going to do.
I knew this would happen, which of course is the correct way to play it. And now we go through a montage of various empty frames and so forth at night, just to kind of tag the film. And he's looking off, and we assume, oh my God, he's still out there, and Donald knows he is.
And the implication now is he could be in any of these places. He could be hiding behind the sofa. He's still out there on the streets.
He's everywhere.
Of Haddonfield.
He's in the dark. He lives in the dark. And that's it.
John, thank you very much.
You're welcome.